probably premiere about 5 o'clock
Oh, we
tomorrow.
good. We good. We good. We good, bro. We good. Can you hear me? We live, bro.
Oh no.
Okay.
John 14. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. That where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know.
It's about time, man, because I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get the kingdom. I'm ready to live. I'm ready to breathe fresh. I'm ready to have beautiful, pure women, okay? Not no strawberry hollows on this side. I'm ready to have children, man, you can vibe with, okay? Be around brothers. Be around the Lord himself, okay? I'm ready to go and visit places in the galaxy that we didn't know exist. All right? I'm ready to walk on sandy beaches, man, and explore the ocean floors. I'm ready to fly, okay? I'm ready to eat real food. Okay, I'm ready to drive a chariot, man. All right, I'm ready to minister to the Lord and to be ministered to, man. Okay, I'm ready to worship Yahushua in its full entirety. Okay, I'm ready for it. We're ready, man. I'm ready to see angels and greet angels.
But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua.
You got Tyler one.
All right. First and foremost, we like y'all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bakakodash, and double onto the Pastor Edison GMS. And salutations to your brother, Push Word Truth, and the Four Corners, BJMS Mississippi Camp. We're going I'm gonna let the brothers take over.
So what we're gonna go into, this week, all right, during the weekly count, all right, well, weekly live stream is what it all boils down to, and at the end of everything that we see happening, all this information, whether it's misinformation, disinformation, distraction, of psyops, what it all boils down to is what the will of the Heavenly Father says in the scriptures. And that's why the Lord has raised up the prophets, to make sense of everything we see happening according to the scriptures. Those watchmen that the Lord has set on the towers of Israel, okay, the hopeful elect, all right, being a people before us in place. Well, the Lord has set up prophets to begin to make sense and filter everything that we see happening according to the prophecy, man, because we come in some very serious times where we should be alert, times that we should be, on point in the spirit, and the scriptures speak about being circumspect, you know. And real quick, get that Ephesians 5:5, and then we'll get that 1 Peter 4:7. Then you got it, bro. Just lay down foundation. You see? And this is a time, you know, and Dawali Hawbashim al-Shah for serious-minded leaders, you know, beginning with our apostles and elders, you know, men that are not caught up into gimmicks, you know, not caught up in trying to be something in this life, not caught up with trying to be celebrity, you know, but just teaching the truth, you know, in this purest form, you know, straight word, no gimmicks, you know. But you got it, bro. Then you gonna mute yourself.
God. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 5. For this ye know that
15, verse 15.
5 and 15.
Yeah. So
God, this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See, then you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Yep, as fools, not as fools, but as wise. It says circumspect, you know, circum, you know, goes into, you know, a circle. And spec means to thoroughly look or investigate, you know. So circumspect means to thoroughly investigate and look at what's going on around us, man. Okay, because there's a lot happening, you know, and there's certain things that are happening that, you know, we need to be on point with. All right. And we know the main thing is the MOTB, which is going to bring about what? Civil unrest, famine, tribulation, okay, class wars, race wars, violence, okay, grid shutdowns, you know. So we pay attention to how the devil is moving when it relates to prophecy, because there's a lot of things he's doing that just fluff and distraction, but there's things that he's doing, okay, that the prophecies go into and we bring out, you know. So let's get there real quick in 1 Peter 4:7. Yeah, you got it, bro.
This is the book of First
Yeah, we're at
Peter.
the end of this thing.
Shall I go ahead?
No, you got it, bro.
This is the book of First Peter, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer.
Yeah, be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer, you know. So the end of all things is at hand, the end of Esau's rulership and the end of my captivity, you know. This is the end that our forefathers, you know, was always inquiring about. You go to Ezra, you go to the apostles, you know, when Yahushua was resurrected, he said, now without restore the kingdom unto Israel, it wasn't time, but now we're here. Okay, and we're just a few major events away for the kingdom being restored to Israel forever, which is the headline of prophecy, man. You know, the restoration of Israel beginning with the elect, all right, headed by Yahushua. Okay. But yeah, that's all I had. Y'all brothers got it, man.
Since you got that, bro, I'll go ahead and get that look up what it all boils down to, and then get the precept, and then get that word reward, and then brothers can go from there if that's fine.
God, you got it.
This is that quick look up what it all boils down to, the meaning here on the Google. Get it brought up. It says the phrase "it all boils down to" means that a complex situation, problem, or argument is reduced to its core, most basic, most important single reason. When you strip away all the extra details, the ultimate truth and main cause is revealed. You know, and that's what, you know, Zaquan was getting into on the introduction, is that when you take away all the minor details, take away all the Esau's crisis and tricks and all the other stuff, to throw it away, it all boils down to the prophecy. It all boils down to what the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua says, you know, is going to happen. And, you know, when you were saying that, I dropped one and I grabbed this one, bro. It says at the end of the day, everything boils down to biblical prophecy. And I looked up, you know, just to try to give it give a meaning of that. It says the phrase, at the end of the day, everything boils down to biblical prophecy, means that all world events, history, and human actions ultimately lead to the end times and the Most High's final plan as written in the Bible people use this to say that the minor details do not matter compared to the Most High's ultimate design for the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, we go into, these things, and because you can go into the details why, America. Why Iran has the advantage over America. You can go into the missile technology. You can go into the terrain. You can go into the ingenuity of Iran engineers. You can go into those things, but ultimately it's happening because the will of the Lord. It's written in prophecy. Okay, so we can explain, these major events on prophecy. We can go into the details, and line it up with prophecy. You see. But yeah, you got it, bro.
Gun. This is a scripture. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13 and 14. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing going to the prophecies, whether it be good or whether it be evil." I got that word here, reward. That should be it after this one. This is that word reward here in the Edamon. Because it said the Lord, he'll bring it into pass, whether it be good or whether it be evil, because everyone is going to receive a reward of some kind. The elect is going to receive a reward. The 2/3 is going to receive their reward. Esau going to receive his reward. The heathen nations are going to receive their reward. Everybody, it all boils down to what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is set for everyone to play within their lot, which is all predestinated, and we know that. This is their word reward here in Edamon. It says what one deserves just deserts. We're gonna jump down to, it says almost from the late 14th century. It says sometimes punishment or recompense for doing evil. So at the end of the day, prophecy is going to give every single person exactly what they deserve via Yahweh Shema Shai. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai says is going to happen. So once you start getting through all the little nooks and crannies and trying to figure out this and trying to figure out that and trying to figure out that, it don't really matter because the Lord says so, and that's just it.
Bro, any other brother got a precept?
Con.
You got it, bro.
You can grab me it's like you got me Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
God. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 9. It says, "Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. Let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth. Walk in the ways of thine heart and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that all these things the Most High will bring thee into judgment."
Con. As we walk in this life, we gotta stay within the bounds of Yahweh Shema Shai. We gotta constantly measure ourselves by the scripture, because we know at the end of the day, our entire lives boils down to, the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. You see, the wicked, they've just gone astray. They don't give an account. They don't care how they move, because they got their own agenda in their mind. They got their own agenda in their minds. They're trying to reach immortality, everlasting life for themselves in their own fashion, and trying to subvert the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. And we know that's not gonna happen, and we know their judgment. So we should walk circumspectly, as we live our lives. And we can enjoy our lives. Just make sure you're in the bounds of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's all. That's all. He gave us He gave us a clear path with the scriptures. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. You can do this, you can do that. you know, but the wicked have taken no mind, taken no heed towards that, you know. You got it. That's all I
Tell
want
him,
to
bro. Any other brother have something?
Yeah, I got some.
Cause you got it, bro.
Yeah, give me 2 Timothy 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 5. It says, but watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
And that's what it's all about. Cause the brother, the first precept you brought up about being circumspect, being sober minded, but you like say watching all things like from the news, where you get your hand on if it pertaining to the scriptures, be into it, man. And she said and do the work of Yahweh Shah, man. If you got this knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Shah, do it to your best ability, man. And you also at the same time you're gonna suffer a little bit, but that's part of it. All right, because you're not gonna get the kingdom without going to do shit. All right, did not Yahweh Shai went through his situation? So guess what? We gonna go through situations too. All right, but that's part of our cup. But like I'm saying, but be circumspect and keep watching. All right, that's something you really do, man. Keep watching and pray the Lord don't take the Holy Spirit away from you, man. That's it, bro. That's all I got. That's it, brothers.
I got a quick one, bro.
Go ahead.
And brother breaking up. Yeah, you were breaking up.
I'm breaking up on my end.
Kind of chopping on your end, bro. But you got them out.
Isaiah 46.
No, you good. I'm talking about talking one. You good, man.
Okay, come. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 9 and 10.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 46, starting at verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High. There is none else. I am the Most High, for there is none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient time, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, so like my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
But you know, the Lord has showed plenty of examples to prove that He is, man. You know, the great flood, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities being destroyed, turning Lot's wife to a pillar of salt, you know, setting up particular empires and bringing them down. These are the things the Lord has done to prove and show His power, man. And that's why He's saying, remember the former things, because these other gods that people worship and they get reverence to, they're going to soon realize that those idols, wood, stone, or whatever the case may be, but they are not the true living power. And He said, declaring the end from the beginning. And Esau's fall was already implemented into the Lord's movie, man, because screenwriters, movie writers normally write the end of the movie first. That way, when they start writing, it builds up, you know, saying to that ending that they have already established. So the Lord has already declared the ending of this devil's rulership, and Yahweh Shai being, you know, the forerunner of the kingdom of heaven, man, coming in to establish righteousness in the kingdom of heaven for all eternity. And it's going to be His pleasure to take down this devil and destroy this wicked kingdom and bring righteousness to the earth. That's why when you go into Revelation, the 19th chapter, I think the 12th verse, when it goes into how He has on His head many crowns, you know, that was declared was from the beginning that Yahweh Shai was going to come down from the heavens when he cracked those clouds, man, and take the crowns of these so-called kings and princes and presidents and ambassadors of these different countries or whatever their high-ranking position is. Yahweh Shai is coming to take all that, man. And just like the brother that's I'm going to, that's all it boils down to. Because these are prophecies that's going to be fulfilled, man. The Lord said that his words will not return unto him void. They shall accomplish wherefore he sent it, roughly paraphrased. So when it all boils down, man, prophecy is going to prevail and Yahweh Shai word is faithful and true. That's all I got, bro.
I got some. And brother.
Yeah, brother, grab this one real quick, Papa.
Y'all had something. You get your halak. Then back on you or not.
Gun.
Yeah, that was gonna happen. All the small talk. If it ain't basically lining up with prophecy, some things got their light. As far as headlines, but everything. The key components is basically lining up with the scriptures. And this is basically our this is why our mind is most focused on, because everything gonna line up with what Yahweh Shai say. And the most important thing is what? The falling of an empire, the Esau's world coming down. So because the Yahweh Shai world has to come in and subdue this kingdom. So ultimately these are the key aspects to everything boiling down to what the Lord said, because everything lines totally up with the return of Yahweh Shai and the establishment of the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be forever and ever. So at the end of the day, this is what everything in us should be looking forward to. See, because we ain't our faith is not lying in government, whether they truly have the peace on the earth, which we know they're not going to have that peace, that they're aiming for, those certain peace treaties, and all this shit gonna fail. We know this, but the point is, the Lord's word is not going to fail, because the Lord, when he say they should say peace and safety, but then destruction. So the point is, they're gonna say peace, but the point is prophecy say destruction. They're gonna say everything gonna go back to normal, but the prophecy say the earth shall reel to and forth like a drunk. So everything must line up with what Yahweh Shai says, for the sake of prophecy, man.
Exactly, bro. Yep. But that's like if I can just add, like you said, because you watch the news, you might see, Turkey sign a treaty with America. Well, we know according to prophecy that Turkey gonna flip and sign with Russia. So when we go into prophecy, we're reading the degrees from the highest council. Okay, so there's certain things that we'll see on the news. We know prophecy void that out. So there's an agreement that don't align with prophecy, but guess what? That agreement not gonna stand. You see, so we can look at what's happening in real time, and based on prophecy, if it don't align with the prophecy, well, guess what? Prophecy gonna void that out. The scripture says it's gonna be famine. So just because you prep don't mean, all right, that you get to void out the famine. No, if it's meant for you to starve, you're gonna starve. Don't give a damn if you got warehouses of food. So we know the script, to the T, and that's why we go over. It's like what does an actor do? Especially good actors, they know everybody's script in the movie. They know everybody's lines, so they know when something is off. So we're able to look out into the world and see what's going on, and we know immediately, oh, that's off. This how this gonna go. This is how this supposed to be. Just to add to what the brother y'all was saying. But yeah, y'all brothers got it. Thank you, Halak. You had something, and then it's back on you or not.
Can you you can give me Luke chapter 8 verse 17?
This is the book of Luke chapter 8 verse 17. You on NLT or KJV, bro?
KJV.
This is Luke chapter 8, verse 17, KJV. It says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known or come abroad." So like it.
Con. And all these secret councils, all these doings from the top and to the bottom is known, it's gonna be exposed. Like these bunkers, like these rituals, like these hidden agenda, they all being exposed. Esau plans are being exposed. The prophets calling them out because he exposed. Scripture's been exposed them. And then you got the world exposing this man. This man can't hide. This man can't hide. Ain't no move he can make that's coming out, that's not already revealed, or somebody got that camera on him in 4K. This man and because this pressure is on him, he's scrambling. It got him scrambling. Because all his moves are known. Because he can't hide. It's nothing he can do in secret that the Lord would not reveal, especially at this time. Where this man is falling. You got it, bro.
We got a saying. I think Zaquan Yash started that it's been taking hold too. Prophecy is in the driver's seat. And I like to just throw some some of the sayings that we have into the Google and chat just to see what pops up. It says this is a Google search. Prophecy is in the driver's seat, meaning saying prophecy is in the driver's seat means that a predicted or foreordained future event is now actively guiding, controlling, and dictating how a situation unfolds, rather than people making free. Go ahead, bro.
No, you got it.
Rather than people freely making choices, we know that there's no such thing as free will. The Lord controls everything. So, I had to put that out there for that part. It says a steering event, the outcome feels inevitable because the prophecy is driving the direction. So that's why at a point in time, Esau was able to, the Lord, that was designed for him too. So the Lord had it to where Esau can, he can run amongst the earth and just do whatever he want to do and everything like that. He can always go and cook up something and, have a solution for this and a solution for that and wickedness. So his solution is pure wickedness. But now the Lord has let prophecy take over. So the prophecy done pushed Esau out the car almost. And Esau he just getting drugged. Literally. He getting drugged by prophecy. So no matter what he does, no matter which way he turns, he got a MOTB prophecy. The war with Iran prophecy, which is gonna lead to WW3. All these data centers and everything like that. MOTB prophecy. So no matter which way he turns, he built him a bunker. The Lord said you were gonna do that too. So no matter which way you turn, nigga, you still gonna run into that linebacker of prophecy that's just sitting there waiting on you. Everything just like Esau, just like that linebacker that coming out the back, that running back coming out the back full speed, and that linebacker got prophecy wrote across his chest and put Esau straight on his back. It's gonna happen every single time. Let me grab the precept to back it up. If I did no brother want to add nothing to that.
I can add to it if you go. Or do you want to bring out that precept first?
If you want to say something, go ahead, bro.
No, you got it. My bad, bro. You got it.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead, bro.
No, yeah, but it's prophecy is in the driver's seat. It's everything is full steam ahead. Everything is full steam ahead. There's no slowing this down. As scripture has said, he saw Satan fall as lightning. You can't stop lightning once it drops. Ain't nothing you can do about that, But you got it.
Mm-hmm. Good. This is the book. Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying, just bagging the brother up. That's heavy, and then lightning is fast too. You know, we talk about time speeding up, and it's only getting faster. Like it's gonna be, you know, a chain of events, man. That's gonna have Esau out of them. It's gonna be quick. You know, Lord really gonna hit this nigga, start hitting the nigga with combos. You know, and it's gonna have this nigga in the days, and he gonna never recover, man. See, but y'all got it, bro.
He said he gonna never recover in boxing. You know, going back to your corner, give you a chance to reset. Well, every time Esau go to his corner, he worse than he was before he left. And then eventually ain't gonna be no corner for him to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 24. The Lord of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so it shall come to pass, and I have purposed, so it shall stand. So whatever the Lord had, the Lord's thoughts and his purpose for every single person and every single thing, even the earth, you know, the sun, the moon, the stars, every single, and ultimately this is the Most High's creation. You know, he gave Yahushua and Elohim the blueprint. This is his creation. So he has a set destiny or a set purpose and a set thought for every single thing and how it's going to play out, what it's going to do. Like Mr. Quan was talking about before we started the lesson, we don't even have control of us preaching and teaching the word. We're beyond grateful. You know, grateful can't even begin to explain, you know, how grateful we are, you know, for how about Shemal Shah to allow us in the courts to be able to understand and be able to preach and teach this word. But that wasn't of our own choice. The Lord laid this out for us the same way the Lord lays every single person's purpose out. And ultimately it goes back again to prophecy. Every person has their lot which aligns with prophecy. No matter what it is, Jake, you can sit here and ignore it thinking, and that's the thing about Jake. Jake think if they ignore something long enough that it don't apply to them. No, eventually prophecy gonna grab your ass by your heels, and you're gonna get dragged right on into it too. Everybody has a set lot that they're going to play when it comes to prophecy.
Hey, that's heavy. Because prophecy going to and it's a point in time. Matter of fact, get that real quick. Habakkuk 2 and 3. Because like you say, you can only ignore it until it's your appointment. You know, the scripture speak about. Matter of fact, get the prophecy, get that precept, then we'll expound on it real quick. Habakkuk 2 and 3.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3.
Game, but now that the game started, now you got to play the game. What Stephen A. Smith talking about ain't gonna matter when the game starts. What your uncle in the barbershop talking about ain't gonna matter when the game starts. Nigga, you have to play this game. You see, you can only talk until the actual day. Now you got to deal. And that's what Esau went with. He been talking about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I got this coming out. We're going to build the sun. You know. Real time. Okay, now you got to deal with your sword not being that effective. Now you got to deal with being called out to work for you. Okay, so the talking can only get you to a point, but when that appointment comes, and everybody got their appointment with prophecy, whether it's judgment or mercy, everybody got an appointment with prophecy, and when it comes, and when your appointment come up, you got to deal. You know, but y'all got it, bro.
I got this for you real quick, bro. The appointed time here in the Hebrew.
Strong's H 4150. Moed.
It says just to drop straight down and get quick to it. Just to drop straight down and get to it. It says a strong definition. It says a fixed time or season.
Yep, it's a fixed time or season. So it's already set. They just this like I never forget the date, February 28th, when they launched that, you know, assassination, that attempt at a decapitation on Iran. That day was like before the earth was made. February 28, 2026 was appointed by the Most High to start that off, because now it's a domino that needs to fall down, and now you just got more nations getting involved into this conflict, man. You know, So it's a season for everything. It's a season for famine. It's a season for civil unrest. It's a season for lights out in America, man. Jacob Trouble is a season. It's appointed. You know? So now it just every day, you know, is a day closer to another appointment in prophecy, man. See? But yeah. Any other brother has something?
Yeah, can I, Isaiah 55 verses 10 and 11.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, starting at verse 10. For as rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but waters the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
And just going into like your brother saying, man, you know, it's gonna be a season for everything, you know. So prophecy is gonna come forth when it's supposed to, and when it's time. You know, the Lord does everything decently and in order. You know, so we see the wars, we see the rumors of wars, we see in all the earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing the uprising of the people. We're seeing the creeping up of the implementation of the MOTB. You know, but these just a few things to name. You know, Jacob's trouble, but all these things are coming as they should, as the way the Lord wanted them to, man. But everything that's going to happen via prophecy is going to happen, whether people believe it or not, and it's going to happen in its due season, just perfectly the way the Lord wanted to happen to get the best results. And we're witnessing all these things come to pass, man. But that's pretty much it, bro.
I got some. Then other brothers don't have anything.
No, you got it, bro.
You can give me Amos chapter 9, verse 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Amos chapter 9, starting at verse 2. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence I will bring them down.
Like as y'all was saying, there's no way you can escape. The Lord is going when it's your time. When it's your time, the Lord coming to get you. When it's your time for that judgment, when it's your appointed time, the Lord gonna come and get you. No matter how far you go or where you try to hide, you can dig deep within the earth. The Lord snatching you up. You can try to go as further as you can in heaven. The Lord bring you back. You know, you know they ain't getting nowhere really in heaven because look, Yahweh Shema Shai owns everything. He created everything. He know the blueprints. He know the alleyways of the heavens. He know the alleyways of the earth. You can't escape. You know, he made everything. He got eyes everywhere. You know?
Yep. And they're speaking of mainly the elites, you know, who are going to be deep on the ground in these underground cities. And then the heavens is talking about the Shemayim, the atmosphere. And these devils got space stations, you know, like you said, though, it's only so far they can go, you know. And like you say, bro, it's like it's like the elites trying to hide in the building that the Most High built. You know, like, man, you don't know about this one, like, nigga, he built the building, you know. So yeah, like just add to your point though, and it's mainly speaking of the elites who have, you know, the resource and ability to have these underground cities that's under mountains, and then these space stations that's in space. You know, as things get out of control, all right, these devils are gonna scurry to these places, and ultimately they just built themselves a holding cell, you know, just for the elect, all right, Yahweh Shai and the elect, all right, to gather their ass up, man, and put chains on their ass, man, and introduce them to their new reality, man, which is the hardest captivity, all right, ever, man. Because right now we got a record for the hardest captivity. But you Edomites, since you love to break records and be, you know, viral, well, you're gonna have all the records of the harshest captivities in history, man. You know, but you got it, bro.
If I may, bro, because what you and Priest Locke said, I was going to a lesson that Apostle Gabar was doing earlier. You know, they had a live stream going on earlier now, listen to, and he said the exact same thing. You know, you can, no matter, it doesn't matter who you are not going to dodge the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. His exact words were, you're not going to dodge the judgment of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, because not everybody is going to die. Some heathens got to kick off this captivity. Some Edomites gotta kick off this 1,000-year period of a rigorous slavery, you know, a rigorous captivity, you know. So I just want to throw that out there. It hit me when because I saw Apostle Gabar, he said that earlier. No matter who you are, you're not going to dodge the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you dodge the destruction of Babylon, you don't get destroyed in Babylon. Well, that means it just means it's your lot to kick off. You know, this is once you get there. Hey, this is you kicking off your next the next way of life for you. You know.
Yeah. Any other brother had something?
Your con, I got some. And just real quick to back up what our brother was just saying. Yeah, it's like for them to try to think they're gonna even dodge, you know, the judgment. It's like they saying like they know something that the Most High don't know. You know, all knowing, all powerful, power of the heavens and the earth, like he don't know where they at, you know, in real time. You know, the Most High, again, the Most High, a man's goings of the Lord, you know. But you know, these people, they're deceived, that the scripture goes into, the deceiver and the deceiver heals, man. So yeah, they the Lord got them, like you said, bro. They only in their holding cells, man. They're gonna be in the holding cells until, because even that right there is prophecy. Hey, let the rocks fall on us and hide us from the wrath of the Lamb. Hey, all this is basically, it falls right into the category, like the brother said, of prophecy, man. It ain't nothing that's going to be done in the earth that ain't prophecy. Just when it boils down to it. So, Daniel 2:44, Bible. Should I get in the NLT?
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and 4 in the NLT. The astrologers answered the king in
44.
Say again.
44.
2 and 44. Salaki. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44 in the NLT. During the reigns of those kings, the power of heaven will sit on a kingdom that will never be destroyed or conquered. It will crush all. Go ahead.
Yeah, he will set up a kingdom.
Oh, Salaki. I'm starting at the top. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 44 NLT. During the reign of those kings, the power of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed or conquered. It will crush all these kingdoms into nothingness, and it will stand forever.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Esau is vanity. You know, Esau is vain. You know, his rulership is vain. It shows us what not to do as a ruler in the earth, man. You know, that's how this devil has done. He showed you how to be a destroyer. You know, nothing, yeah. Basically, he showed you how to basically destroy. But during this, what the Most High is finna set up, that will never be destroyed or conquered. Well, this is the ultimate prophecy. This is what it all boils down to. It all boils down to the permanent setup of the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, you know, which uproots Esau's kingdom. That's all it boils down to. And that's all I hit on it.
Bro, any other brother had something?
Nah, I'm good.
We get the last few, wrap it up. If brother had none, I know I had one. Brother that had none.
Go ahead, Zaquan.
Look at that Proverbs 19 and 21. We'll close out on that. You know, and the kingdom is being set up by the Lord raising up the prophets. You know, so the kingdom, you know, before there's infrastructure, you know, before one, you know, piece of material, you know, is actually put in place for the infrastructure of our kingdom, it begins with us raising up the prophets. You know, it begins with the Lord raising up his sons who's going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, you know, and his sons will begin to minister to the church, you know, the believers, the rest of the 1/3 men, women, and children, you know, that was predestined for salvation. You see? So just like Esau can't stop himself, you know, from going all out in this war, attempting this MOTB, nothing can stop the elect from being the elect, man, and getting the victory over this whole system, man. You know? But you got it, bro.
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, it's like chapter 19, verse 21. It says, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that shall stand.
Yeah, read it again, Bible Shah. I think you broke up a little.
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that shall stand.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people have many devices, like you say, well, it's the elites, you know, and their technocracy agenda, okay, and everything that they got going on with that, you know, to a straight nigga walking around the neighborhood, everybody got their mindset on what they want to do next, okay? Well, there are many devices in the man's heart and the man's mind, but the counsel of the Lord, that has the last say so, you know? So anything that's not within the counsel of the Lord is vanity, man, okay? So the Lord, as prophecy speak, is going to begin to void out, all right, everyone's devices and plans and agendas and thoughts and this and that, whatever. Prophecy's going to start voiding all these things out, and everybody's going to have to deal with the judgment that's written, that was predestined, man. You know, so we're in some beautiful times, you know, a lot happening, you know, times are moving quick, you know, any day, you know, something, you know, can shift this thing to another phase, man, and Lord will, you know, so may we continue, you know, to be built up in faith and understanding, you know, and true love, sincere love towards one another, you know, in the spirit, you know, and may, you know, we endure as the elect, you know, so Lord will, you know, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters edified once again. I'm gonna give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.
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 Shalom.